Let's start with our first news. Israel Adesanya has been releasing more footage of his training sessions with Robert Whittaker as he prepares to face Joe Piper at UFC Seattle. Training with someone of Rob's caliber has been an incredible experience. Honestly, he's one of the best dudes in the game, not just fight-wise, but overall as a human being. He's truly one of the GOATs in the middleweight division, not only in this part of the world, but globally. Having the chance to train with him has been a real boost for the final stretch of my camp. You get to see the spirit of the guy, not just when you fight him, but when you train with him day in and day out. And let me tell you, he's just a good dude, man. The way he carries himself, the way he pushes you to your limits, it's inspiring. It's been amazing to have a world-class fighter like Robert Whittaker come in and push me at the end of my training camp. He's helped me sharpen every detail, refine every movement, and build that extra edge you need to finish strong. Having that level of intensity and experience in the gym with you is something you don't take for granted. This final phase of camp has been electrifying, and having Rob there has made it even more special. It's a blessing to train alongside someone like him, someone who brings out the best in you, both physically and mentally. I'm incredibly grateful for his presence and all the knowledge he shares. This is a huge moment in my next chapter in the game, and having that kind of support means everything as I get ready to step into the octagon and put my skills on display. Training with a GOAT like Robert Whittaker isn't just preparation, it's a game changer, and I'm ready to carry that energy into fight night. Move on to another news. Kamaru Usman thinks Sean Strickland may push Khamzat for the middleweight title at UFC 328 on May 9th. Sean Strickland is set to challenge Khamzat, and Kamaru believes Sean could be the guy to force a complete performance out of him. Khamzat is one of those fighters we know is extremely special. He has the ability to do great things in the octagon, but at the same time, we're still waiting to see a truly complete performance. It's almost like Khamzat relies on one dominant skill at a time. That one skill is so powerful that he's still able to win fights convincingly, yet we haven't really seen all of his weapons unleashed at once. Kamaru has said it before, Khamzat is talented enough to have every tool in his arsenal. The challenge for him is finding that one opponent, that right dance partner, who can force him to show everything he's capable of. Sean Strickland might just be that fighter. If Sean is able to prevent Khamzat from taking him down, Khamzat will be forced to stand and trade. That's where we could see the full scope of Khamzat's skills. Striking, kicks, punches, combinations, and movement. This is where his true arsenal could shine, and fans will finally get to see it all in action. On the other hand, Sean could come in and take control of the fight, dominating and breaking the matchup wide open. Kamaru is excited for this clash because it has the potential to show a side of Khamzat we haven't fully witnessed yet. This fight could push him to new levels, exposing his versatility and making him display everything he's been capable of all along. Sean Strickland's presence and style might just be the challenge Khamzat needs to bring out his complete self. Whether it ends up being a striking battle, a tactical chess match, or a total showdown, this fight has all the makings of a breakout moment. Kamaru expects fans to see action, intensity, and perhaps a side of Khamzat that truly cements him as one of the most versatile fighters in the division. This matchup has the potential to be explosive, and it's generating plenty of excitement as the fight approaches. With both fighters bringing their unique skills and determination, this could be one of the most compelling middleweight fights of the year. The stakes are high, the anticipation is intense, and fans are in for a performance that could define both careers in a major way. Move on to another news. Joe Rogan recently reacted to Alex Pereira's move to heavyweight, and the buzz is real. A lot of fans have been wondering if Alex's power and size from middleweight would translate against true heavyweights. Moving up from middleweight to face opponents walking around in the 250 seconds is a massive jump, but Joe doesn't seem concerned. On his podcast with Dustin Poirier, he pointed out that because Alex no longer has to cut weight and walks around at about 240 pounds, his power should carry over perfectly to the heavyweight division. Both Joe and Dustin highlighted just how skilled Ciryl Gane is, making this an intriguing matchup. For a fighter like Alex, who prefers to stand and trade, going against Ciryl Gane is not going to be easy. Joe emphasized that if Alex maintains his power and speed, he will be able to flatline heavyweights 100%, especially with zero weight cut. Walking around at 240 pounds makes him a legit heavyweight, tall, long, and capable of competing at the highest level. Tsarukyan, of course, is no pushover either, an athlete heavyweight with genuine skills, not just a big guy. In new footage shared on social media, even Glover Teixeira seemed caught off guard by Alex's power at heavyweight. The look on his face while holding pads said it all. Alex's punch is legit at this weight class. Joe also reflected on Tsarukyan's previous bout with Tom Aspinall, which ended prematurely due to eye pokes. It was clear that Tom was struggling in that fight, facing significant issues from Gyan's speed and technical ability. Despite having a grappling advantage, he couldn't capitalize, and the stoppage was unfortunate. That fight was heading in a fascinating direction, and fans didn't get to see it play out fully. Joe also touched on Jon Jones and his hip recovery, mentioning that Jon received stem cells to help heal arthritis in his hip, thanks in part to Joe's guidance. Jon feels better now, and while the hip still bothers him occasionally, it doesn't prevent him from competing. Joe even suggested that Jon should have been on the White House card, and it seems his efforts were aimed at preparing Jon for that event. Even though Jon may return only for that specific card, Joe's support underscores the dedication and care he brings to helping fighters perform at their best. Alex Pereira moving up to heavyweight is a game changer, and fans are in for a high-powered clash in the octagon. Move on to another news. The MMA community has been roasting Colby Covington over his recent footage on Neon streams, and the laughs have been relentless. Over the past few days, it seems like Colby is upset about being snubbed from the White House card and has started turning his back on the UFC. Fans have been quick to point out the irony, reminding him of his days as the so-called company man. Colby claims that the UFC isn't the same anymore, a sentiment that sounds eerily similar to what Ronda felt in the past. Yesterday, Colby also brought up the topic of UFC video game royalties. He expressed frustration that fighters don't get paid for their likeness appearing in the EA Sports UFC game. He said, "I'm pissed they don't give us any money or revenue from it," making it clear that this is one of his current grievances. Colby compared the situation to college football players who receive cuts from NCAA football, highlighting that UFC fighters supposedly don't get anything from royalties. He seemed genuinely shocked, saying, "They use our name and likeness, but you can't even opt out? No way." However, the reality paints a very different picture. Sources confirm that UFC fighters are indeed compensated for their likeness in EA Sports UFC games. Payments are typically based on a fighter's popularity in the game, meaning checks are determined by how often players select their character. This revelation turned the MMA community into a roasting frenzy. Fans quickly pointed out that if Colby hasn't received any money, it might simply be because not many people are picking him in the game. Twitter users had a field day joking, "Bro's finding out no one uses his character in real time." Ben Askren even chimed in on Twitter confirming that he has received multiple royalty checks from the UFC for the video game. He explained that the metric is based on how often fighters are chosen in the game, further proving that nobody really selects Colby Covington. The combination of Colby's complaints and the reality of the situation has made the scenario one of the funniest stories in MMA over the past week. Whether Colby is genuinely frustrated or simply piling on to his ongoing trash talk with the UFC, the community is having a blast roasting him. With his 100% stamina rating in OP wrestling, it's hard to imagine that no one else would select him. Yet the joke has stuck, giving fans endless entertainment and a perfect example of how social media reacts to fighter antics. Move on to another news. A huge UFC main event has been leaked. Last night, Robert Whittaker confirmed that he will be making his light heavyweight debut in July and already has a fight booked. During an interview with Combat TV, Robert made it clear that his next fight is locked in for July, giving fans an exciting matchup to anticipate. He shared details about his preparation, explaining that he plans to go home for a bit, then return for training cycles over the next several weeks. With roughly 16 to 17 weeks until the fight, he intends to balance time at home with focused training, making sure to spend quality moments with his family. Robert expressed how important it is for him to stay connected with his loved ones, especially considering he has 6 kids. Every time he leaves his wife with all the children, things get a little chaotic, so he's making an effort to manage his schedule around family life while preparing for this monumental step in his career. He plans to bring his family along whenever possible, emphasizing that being away from them for long stretches is not something he enjoys. Speculation about Robert's opponent has been rampant since the announcement, and recent social media activity has shed light on the likely matchup. Magomed Ankalaev tweeted confirming his fight in July, which lines up perfectly with Robert's statements. This leads to the exciting conclusion that UFC Abu Dhabi will likely be headlined by Robert Whittaker versus Magomed Ankalaev. Fans are already buzzing about how Robert will adjust to the light heavyweight division and how he will handle the size, power, and skill of a fighter like Magomed. This fight marks a critical chapter in Robert's career, moving up a weight class and testing himself against a bigger opponent. His strategy, training, and ability to adapt to the demands of light heavyweight will be under the microscope, and every detail will count. Fans are eager to see if he can carry over his speed, skill, and precision while managing the added strength and reach of a larger opponent. With this main event shaping up for UFC Abu Dhabi, the anticipation is high and the MMA world is watching closely. Robert Whittaker stepping into the light heavyweight division against Magomed Ankalaev promises an explosive, action-packed fight that could define the next stage of his career. The combination of skill, strategy, and family motivation makes this one of the most anticipated matchups of the year. Move on to another news. Dustin Poirier recently shared his thoughts on Tom Aspinall, questioning whether fans may have jumped on his hype train a bit too early. Aspinall has spent very little time in the cage, with 14 of his wins coming in the first round, which has fueled the perception that he's dominant. While fans have been quick to praise his impressive run, Poirier isn't fully convinced just yet. Speaking on Joe Rogan's podcast, he explained that he hasn't seen Aspinall face real adversity, like losing a round and having to fight his way back, which is something Poirier values when judging a fighter's true level. Poirier reflected on Aspinall's fight that got stopped due to an eye poke, calling it a crime. The bout had been heading in a very interesting direction, with Aspinall struggling to land clean shots, bleeding, and taking damage along the way. Ciryl Gane's jab proved to be legit, and Poirier was excited to see Aspinall forced to adapt and fight back. He noted that Aspinall has rarely been pushed into the second round, perhaps only twice in his career, which is remarkable considering his hype. That's why the fan base impressed Poirier so much, with everyone talking about Aspinall's skill. While Poirier acknowledged that Aspinall clearly has talent to be where he is, he stressed that he hasn't yet seen the fighter in a truly tough situation. Poirier pointed out that Aspinall's real strength might come from his grappling, being a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Aspinall is big, fast, and explosive, especially with his power doubles. However, when standing and trading with someone like Ciryl Gane, Aspinall faced a whole new challenge. This was the first time he encountered a fighter who is agile, quick, and highly technical. Sir Gane's approach is tricky, keeping his hands low before suddenly popping out his jab, making it hard to anticipate. Poirier highlighted Sir Gane's unique footwork and mobility, noting that he is quick for his size, has excellent hips, and moves in a way that keeps opponents guessing. This combination of speed, technique, and clever striking makes him a difficult matchup for anyone, even a powerful striker like Aspinall. Dustin's insight emphasizes that while Aspinall has shown dominance, his skills are yet to be fully tested against truly technical, high-level opponents. Fans watching Poirier break this down are getting a closer look at how real MMA evaluation goes, and why hype doesn't always match the challenge a fighter may face inside the cage. It's a reminder that true adversity often separates good fighters from the great ones. Move on to another news. John Silva has announced that he's signing a contract to fight Alexander Volkanovski for the featherweight belt. John revealed that he's flying to London to watch Mozar Avoyer take on Lone Murphy, and immediately after he will finalize the deal for his title shot. He explained, "We're heading out on this trip, invited by Hunter and Dana to watch the fight between Evoev and Murphy up close and to sign a contract for the belt." Gene emphasized that this moment will be massive, claiming it will be the biggest promotion fans have ever seen when the contract is signed. He added that he plans to sell the fight with full intensity, making it clear that this isn't just any title matchup, it's an event designed to captivate the audience and create maximum excitement. He also addressed the fight between Avoyer and Murphy, calling it boring in comparison to what he has planned. Gene confidently stated that after witnessing that fight, he will go up there and deliver a message to both competitors, describing it as handing them their termination. His words reflect the confidence and intensity he brings into the octagon, making it clear that his focus is on dominating the featherweight division and making a statement from the very first moment. With this announcement, the anticipation for John Silva versus Alexander Volkanovski is skyrocketing. Fans are eager to see how Gene will perform at this elite level and how he plans to take on one of the best featherweights in the world. This fight promises to be explosive, highly competitive, and full of memorable moments, marking a pivotal chapter in Gene Silva's career. The combination of signing the contract, attending the London fight, and publicly declaring his intent to dominate adds even more hype to this matchup. Gene Silva's confidence and bold statements set the stage for a truly unmissable title fight, and the MMA community is buzzing in anticipation of seeing him face Alexander Volkanovski in what is shaping up to be an epic battle for the belt.